Okay, so here is the Dramatic Play Hair Salon, and Tom will drop a link in the comments. If you're not a member of the Teaching Tribe and you would just like to see it over at Pre-K Pages, Tom will drop a link to that. Tribe members can grab this over in the vault. Hi, Angela from Florida. Now, let me tell you a little bit about why I chose to do this play theme. Well, first of all, it's the most requested play theme that I don't currently have, or didn't currently have until today, over on Pre-K Pages. So I have, until today, I had 19 different dramatic play themes at Pre-K Pages, packets that you can purchase, but I never did a hair salon. And mostly, I think the only thing that was holding me back was lice. I had fear of lice, and I didn't want to promote or encourage the spread of lice in my classroom. And I couldn't figure out really how to do that with the hair salon. But it's been so requested, probably over the last 5 years, I've had, I don't know, at least 100 requests for this play theme. So what I started to do was I started to think, okay, maybe I have some kind of mental block here. And hey, Bronwyn. And maybe the people who want it can explain to me how it works for them. So that's what I did. I started talking to people who use this theme in their room. I had one teacher, I think it was in San Antonio, she laid it all out for me, and she said it was her kids' #1 favorite. It was so meaningful to them. They all had prior knowledge of going and getting their hair cut, so it was very meaningful to them. And it was something they could all relate to, boys and girls alike enjoyed it, and she said that her kids just loved it. And so she laid out step for step for me about how she did it in her classroom, and then it started to make sense. So basically, we just don't provide them with any brushes or combs or scissors. That's the secret. So let me show you how I did it here in this kit. And the cool thing about this kit is most of this stuff you can find at the dollar store. A lot of the props that you use in this can be found at the dollar store. So here are some of the things that I have in the Dramatic Play Hair Salon. I have a little pretend mirror here. I got these, you know, sometimes these will, well, this one has a on it. Sometimes you can get these at garage sales, you know, when they're selling the trinkets that come from Happy Meals, and there's always like a box of stuff that's like 25 cents each or free for all or whatever. There's usually some kind of mirror in there you can use. If you're concerned about breaking, if mirrors are breaking or dangerous, make sure you get a safety mirror. You can get those from the Teacher Supply catalogs, but mirrors are always fun in that play theme. The other thing I got, and I love these, anyone remember these? These are curlers from the Dollar Tree, and they have a lot there. They have the sponge kind that clip closed, but these are the Velcro curlers that don't have any fasteners. And just think about all the fine motor that's involved in that. Okay, so we've got curlers. These don't actually go in the kids' hair though. Let me show you what I am using. So I put my garage sale skills to work here. Look at this gorgeous doll head. Okay, so she smells like lavender. I'm not kidding. Like she was designed to smell like lavender. She smells amazing. She's been in my garage for a long time. I got her at a garage sale last year. I've been working on this kit for like 2 years. Seriously, been collecting things for it and working on this kit for over 2 years, collecting ideas and feedback from teachers all over the country in my travels. But I found this doll at a garage sale. Her hair smells like lavender. It says Corel on the bottom. They probably don't make her anymore, but she is blonde, which was a problem because I definitely want other hair colors in my hair salon. So we're going to be working on the doll's hair. So it's just a head. It's a doll head. And it has this thick, luxurious, beautiful hair. And you can see it's got a lot of volume there. And so this one was a garage sale find, okay? And she's very gently used. So that was great. And then I purchased this one on Amazon. Tom will give you a link to her. I forget what she's called, but she has a very beautiful kind of almost auburn brown hair. So I got her on Amazon, so I splurged on her because I can't just have the blonde baby. So now we have 2 girls. You could look for more. They had others on Amazon as well. there's my dog. He's trying to tell me something. And you can search for them at your garage sales. Another thing I did, and I kind of gave you a sneak peek over in on my last Facebook Live, I found these, let me put her down. I found these little mannequin heads at Daiso, which is a Japanese dollar store here in the Dallas area. And they also had wigs there for $1.50. I think this head was on sale for like $3 at Daiso. Yes, aren't they? These little styrofoam heads are hard to find, but they had them at the dollar store, if you can believe it or not. I mean, I was just like, what? They also had a lot of wigs there. They were cheap, but I don't care. Do you? So you could use those on these little heads. I think you would definitely need to secure this to something more sturdy. So I was trying to think of a way to do that. I think what I would do is the plaster of, have you ever seen the plaster of Paris Crayola marker lid hack, where you fill like a Cool Whip container or shoebox with plaster of Paris, and then you stick your markers top down in them, and then when it dries you can take the markers in and out but the lids stay there. I would do that same thing with this head. I would embed her in some, or him, could be either one. I would embed him or her in some plaster of Paris in some kind of tub to create a nice heavy base, so the head didn't just fall over, because it is very lightweight styrofoam. But they had these in all different skin colors too, which I thought was pretty cool. You could even make it like a potato head where they could put the eyes and stuff on. I don't know. But so the other thing I found was this little play curling iron. But if you have an old one, or any of your parents have an old one, cut off the electrical cord from the bottom of an old curling iron, and your kids can use that. And also, and Tom cut the cord off of this one for me. This is an old hair dryer that I had in storage, because I don't know what you do with them when they die, but I have several. And we cut off the cord there, and now the kids can pretend to blow dry the doll's head. So we have a blow dryer, and we have a little pretend curling iron, and I have a pretend brush. You would really have to lay down the law with your kids about how these are only to be used on the doll heads if you're in a classroom situation and you're worried about lice. So make sure they know that this doesn't go in their hair, it goes in the doll's hair. All right. So, and I really like this garage sale doll's head, because she's really cool. Better than the ones I bought on Amazon. But look at these hair bands. I just went to the dollar store, like the Dollar Tree, and I bought a bunch of hair stuff. I mean, it's $1 for nothing small that they could swallow, but I bought a bunch of different hair bands. I think this one is my favorite, and so they can put this on the doll's head. They can, here she goes. Doesn't she look amazing? There we go. They can put the curlers in her hair. They will have a complete blast with this, with all the little doodads there for her hair. And it's great fine motor too. I think Melissa and Doug also makes like a little role-playing costume set. Oh, bummer. Another thing I found at Daiso, and I'm sure somebody could make these just as easily, but they had child-size hair cutting capes. So in addition to the mannequin head, I got child-sized pink and blue hair cutting capes. I was like, what? They're over on the other side of the room, and I can't get to them right now, but I will show you if I have a minute to grab them. But hair cutting capes. Now, somebody in the teaching tribe was telling me about something they did in dramatic play where there's no sewing involved. I felt like even I could do it, but I can't remember the exact directions. So I'm gonna, if anyone out there, we're having a little connectivity issue, just refresh your browser and we will come right back. But if anybody out there in the teaching tribe remembers what that super easy costume was for almost any dramatic play theme, let me know in the comments. So here are some of the printables that I made to go with this set here. So we have open and closed signs. Are you looking for the capes? They're in that bag on the floor over there. It's really hard to, This room is a giant pit, and Tom is trying to traverse it. It's like a tightrope walk. No, not that, honey. On the floor in the white bag. Nope. And there goes the light. It just fell. It's going to fall down. It's always a comedy of errors. Yes. Be careful of that light, though. It's going to fall on you. Okay. Sally's Beauty Supply carries the kid capes. Ooh, never thought of that. These were $1.50 at Dayso. I mean, how cool is that? Little kid haircutting capes. Who would have thought? I didn't even think that was a thing, but there they are. Super cool. All right, so we have the open and close signs. So I have two sizes, a full page and a half page. So you cut them out, you tape them back to back or glue them back to back and put a string in between. And now you have your hair salon open and closed signs, because every hair salon needs to be either open or closed. I have the waiting area and the cash register, please pay here sign. Okay. I don't have the waiting area. You'd have to have enough space to actually have that in your classroom. So if you have space, go for it. Put a couple of chairs there. Now you have a cash register and some pretend money. Now you've got math going on. So these are little signs you can cut out and place in your hair salon. Of course, we've got the hours of operation. So what we do with these is you can either laminate them and let kids write the hours of operation in here on their own using a dry erase or a vis-a-vis, or you can put them in a page protector and they can do the same thing. So we always print these out. Oh, Sandy, I have an entire list of dramatic play kits that have been requested over the years. Hey, so I do have a long list of those. Feel free to let me know if you have a suggestion, and it's probably on the list already. I have 3 in the works. Sometimes I'll work on a lot of things at once but never finish them, so I have 3 other dramatic play kits in the works right now. Okay, so hours of operation. Sign-in sheet. I have both half and full pages of this, depending on what you prefer. Let me see. Oh, here it is. So here's the sign-in sheet. You put them on a clipboard, put out some golf pencils, and let the kids sign in, because you know when you get there you sign in. That's a great way. Basically this is a code word for write your name. So now you've got writing practice, but it's meaningful writing with a purpose. When you go to the hair salon, you sign in, right? If you go to a place like Supercuts and stuff, that's what they do. And that's what I do at my nail salon too. Okay, so we've got that. And you just cut those in half, but I also have a full page option if you prefer. And you could also do these laminated or vis-a-vis if you want. This one is super fun. Now, I talked to my hairstylist. She's been cutting my hair for like 16 years now. And I talked with her about what I should put in this dramatic play kit. So I worked with a couple of different teachers in different locations around the country who really love this play theme. They gave me feedback. But my hairstylist, Christy, and I talked about this several times over the last couple of years. And she said, you know, what would be really cool is the license, because she has her license on the wall in her her cubicle, and she hates it because it has her picture on it. But anyway, this is a cosmetologist license, and there's a place there for their name, so you could actually put name cards in there with a Velcro dot, you know, or you can do vis-a-vis, dry erase, laminate, whatever. But this is their cosmetology license they can have. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. And this is a services form. And this one, basically I had to use what clip art was available because I don't draw these pictures myself. So it's what service would you like today? Check all that apply. Do you want a shampoo, a cut, and a blow dry? Or do you just want a shampoo or just a cut, whatever? And then if you want to purchase any additional products, and then there's just check boxes there. So this is a 2-page. You can cut it in half. It comes in color and black and white. So that's another purposeful, meaningful way to get them to recognize that print has meaning. Of course, you will want doesn't every good hair salon have an appointment book? And they also have somebody who answers the phone and writes down the appointment. So this would be a great job for one of the kids in your dramatic play center. So there's a space for name, phone number. Oops, this is actually the one that's not printed backwards, sorry. There's a reason I have this one in front of me. There's actually a place for name, a phone number, time, and the service that the person would like to have. So of course the kids are probably going to write scribbles in there. That's okay, because when they are writing on this page, they are writing for a purpose. They understand that print has meaning. It's meaningful to them. So it doesn't matter if they're making letter-like shapes, squiggles, or even trying to write words. It's all about where they are. So that's the appointment card. And then I have these other things here that I didn't show you yet. We've got loyalty cards. There's a page of loyalty cards. So it says your 5th cut is free. Now these aren't printed backwards because I'm on the selfie cam, so these will look backwards to you, but they're not when you print out the kit. Your 5th cut is free. So this is fine motor practice. So you give them a hole puncher and they can punch every time they get a haircut. And you can print these off in black and white or in color, and you definitely want to print them on a thick cardstock paper. Then we have these little role-playing name tags. And so if they're going to be, you know how there's a shampoo person? There's a person who shampoos your hair. There's a role-playing tag for that. So you can laminate these, hole punch them, put them on a string, or you can put them in, laminate them and put them in like with those little badge holder thingies, however you want to do it. There's the stylist, if you're going to be a stylist. There's the booking person, not a bookie, the person who answers the phone and writes down the appointments in the appointment book. So that's the booking person. You could probably call that person something else, but that seemed to be the easiest one. The cashier, the person who takes the money. I've worked on this one for a really long time, Melissa, so I have tried to think of everything. Now for customers, we have 6 customers, 6 boys and 6 girls, each with a different hair color and skin tone. So we've got female customers with different hairstyles and skin tones. We've got male customers with different hairstyles and skin tones. So there's 6 of each, 6 boys and 6 girls. And then if you prefer, this is another thing that I have used before for other play kits like the grocery store. These are just name badges. So you can actually print these off, laminate them. And I would usually use the little badge clippy things here, those little badge, you know, those little things I'm talking about, they're metal. And let the kids write their own name on their badge if they're going to be a worker in the salon, and they can clip it on or put yarn around it and wear it around their neck, whatever you want. So that's there as well. And we have 2 labels. So what you want to do, one says hair products and one says hair tools. I know we're on the selfie cam here, so they're backwards. So if you have your hair dryer and your curling iron and all that stuff, you can put all those in a basket and then label the basket. You know, so you've got all your little tools there in a basket labeled. And then you've got your hair products. And this is another thing I like about this kit. Save your travel shampoo bottles if you have them, or if you're going to travel, think about saving them. Those are perfect for the Dramatic Play Center. So after you're done with them, clean them out and put them there for the kids. Empty bottles of hairspray, things like that. And make sure they're empty. And then put them on a basket and label it with this label. And then behind me you can see I have choose your style posters, girls and boys. So they have different hair color and skin tones, so they can choose what kind of hairstyle. And I thought that was fun because if they want, like, say, pigtails or something, They can take all those little hair tools you bought at the Dollar Tree and they can try to make pigtails on the doll. All of that's great fine motor hand-eye coordination, right? So they can actually look at those hairstyles. There's ponytails, there's different types of hairstyles. There's braids. I don't know that little kids could do a braid, but they certainly could try. But here, let's give her a ponytail. This will be great. Maybe one of the kids in your class will learn how to do her hair clips, and so you don't have to. They're always bringing me hair pieces and going, can you fix this? And I'm like, oh, I'm kind of trying to teach 22 other kids right now, but sure. But that's okay, because I don't know. Ooh, look how pretty she looks. Look at that. Ooh, she looks like she's going on a Hawaiian vacation. Ooh la la. Check that out. Okay, and she came from... Terry says she's used iPad apps to prepare the kids, and I can't read the rest because I'm on my phone and it only shows me like a certain number of words, but I'm going to assume prepare the kids for haircuts. Ooh, Rhonda says she has a hairstylist parent. That would be fun. Hey, welcome Mindy from Kansas. If you're just joining us, you don't forget that as soon as we're done recording tonight, or as soon as we're done broadcasting, you can watch the recording right here on the Pre-K Pages Facebook page. So if you're just joining us and you missed the first part of this broadcast, feel free to go back and watch it as soon as we're done. Over here, I have all of the different cards. These are word cards. So I have this pocket chart from the dollar spot, and I have, there's 3 pages with 4 cards on each. So there's 12 word cards. So you keep them in your pocket chart here, or if you have a better way to do it, that's great too. So there's 12 different word cards there. And what else? Oh, Tom is going to share with you a link to my dramatic play board over on Pinterest. So if you're looking for more dramatic play ideas, you can find them over there on my dramatic play board. And then also he'll share a link with you. Hey. He can also share with you a link to all the different dramatic play themes at Pre-K Pages. So we now have 20 different dramatic play themes at Pre-K Pages. This is the 20th one. So now I'm super excited about that. What else was I going to tell you about the dramatic play? You can see all of them on Pre-K Pages. You can look at my Pinterest board for more dramatic play ideas. There were some great hairstyling ideas over on the Pinterest board. Somebody used dish tubs from the Dollar Tree to make shampoo bins, like sinks for people to shampoo their hair, only they were made out of dish tubs, and then she put a piece of a pool noodle and cut a little bit out. That's where you rest your head, like in the sink. It was really cool. So go over there to the Pre-K Pages dramatic play Pinterest board, and you can find some more ideas. What else did I not share with you yet about that? Oh, above me, you can see the banner. So I'm on the selfie cam, so it's backwards, but it says hair salon. So in one of my recent broadcasts, I mentioned that I stopped including the banners in my dramatic play kits because I didn't think anyone was using them, and everyone in the comments was like, no, I use them. So I put them in this kit again. And I included, I think it was the hot cocoa stand that I was doing before. So I made the banner for that, and I included it in the kit now, both in the Teaching Tribe and at Pre-K Pages. So if you need that banner, it is there for you now. But this is the hair salon one, so there's the banner there. So we just cut those out, we print them on cardstock, cut them out, and then I've clipped them with clothespins to a string. And the string is just attached to the bulletin board with push pins. And this is obviously way above the kids' heads, so I don't expect them to be able to read it or even see it. It's more of like announcing that that's the theme to an administrator who walks in, or an adult or something like that. And it's cute, so that can go up there on the wall, or it doesn't have to. Is this going to add to any of the, but I can't read the rest. I forgot to get my iPad out. I'm sorry, I can only read like 6 words out of each comment. But So this is the Hair Salon Dramatic Play. If you're a Teaching Tribe member, you can find it over in the Teaching Tribe right now, ready for you to download, along with my other 2 new kits over there. I have a Calming Techniques kit for your self-regulation station, and yoga in the classroom. Those are 2 kits that I worked really hard on the last few weeks, in addition to the hair salon. So there's actually 3 new products over in the Teaching Tribe right now if you're a tribe member, or if you'd prefer just to purchase them, they're over at Pre-K Pages. Let me see if I can go back and read any of the questions that were that came through. Peggy's daughter is a stylist. Very cool. Let's see. Oh, maybe Tom can come over and tell me what some of the comments were, because I can just go back, but I can go back, but I can still only see those 6 words. Great to add pictures of hairstyles, says Melissa. Yeah, because sometimes kids don't know about any other hairstyles. So there's all different hairstyles there on the 2. And I also have those in black and white in case you wanted to print them out and have kids draw faces on them or laminate them or whatever. So they're in black and white as well. Thank you, Sonia. Oh, and hairstyle magazines, yes. I asked my hairstylist about that, and I said, you know, is that something that you would ever, I didn't want any for myself, but if you wanted some for your classroom, you might consider going to one of those places like Supercuts or something and asking if they have any old ones they'd like to get rid of.
Will the Hair Salon Dramatic Play be being added to any of the bundles?
Will the Hair Salon Dramatic Play be added to any of the bundles? I assume that question's about Teachers Pay Teachers, and yes, it will, but not right away. Sometime in the future. Yes, thank you. I saw it now. Thank you. It just appeared.
When you roll out new Dramatic Play, do you demonstrate to the kids?
Yes, each of the Dramatic Play kits comes with how to introduce this dramatic play scenario to your kids page. So there are instructions there on how do you introduce it to your kids. So the best way, of course, some of our commenters have already mentioned, if you can have someone come into the classroom or you can go on a field trip, but a lot of times that's not possible. Not everyone is lucky enough to have a stylist as a parent in their class, or not all of us can go on field trips. Another great resource that you might want to check out that I often look to for introducing dramatic play themes is VPK Kids. It's basically, you can look at online field trips for preschoolers. I think they're free, or they used to be, and see if they have one for whatever theme you're trying to introduce to your kids. And they actually take a Florida pre-K class on field trips and film them. It's really cool.
Sorry, I think the question was, every time you change your dramatic play center, do you role play for the kids?
Do I role play for the kids whenever I change a dramatic play center? I do. I do. So another way to introduce Dramatic Play Center to the kids is to read a book. Anytime you introduce anything to little kids, read a book. If you're working on one-to-one correspondence skills, counting, rhyming, you're always using a book. So the same is true for dramatic play. So there's probably lots of great books out there that have to do with hairstyles or getting a haircut or something like that. And you can read a book to your kids to introduce it, and then you can get out the materials. So I would get the materials out, and I would say, so in the Dramatic Play Center this week, we have a hair salon set up, and these are some of the things you're going to find there in the Dramatic Play Center, and I'll take them out and I'll show them, and I'll say, now, are we going to put this in our mouth? Is it, is it a candy? Is it whatever? No, it's not. What's it for? This is what it's for. And this is a hair dryer. Have you ever seen anyone use one of these before? You have. Oh my goodness. So you're making connections to prior knowledge. And when we're doing activities like this, they're meaningful to the kids because they have experience with it, but we're also making connections to any prior knowledge they might have. And so when you start to introduce things in the classroom that kids have experience with in real life, they get inspired and motivated, right? So I do introduce, and I will role play a little bit with the kids very briefly, especially if it's later in the year. How often do you change it out? That's up to you. I like to leave them in for at least 2 weeks. So kids really have an opportunity to go there and explore, because what we're doing there is we're building background knowledge and also vocabulary. And the research shows that children have to use words a certain number of times, and that number varies per child, before that word gets embedded in their long-term memory. So the more exposures they have to realistic, authentic play with their peers, the more likely they are to incorporate some of these vocabulary words. So for example, if one day a child is being the booking person on the phone and somebody says, I'd like to come in for a blowout, and the child is like, what's a blowout? And the more times they hear it and say it, not that that's a word that's going to be on the SAT, but but they're using their receptive and their expressive language. They're building vocabulary, everything about it. So the longer it's out, the better. Some people also like to leave them out for a whole month, and there's nothing wrong with that. I would say follow the children's lead. And if you notice they're not interested in it, I would look into why that is. What is it about this theme that's not interesting to them? Maybe we didn't set it up enough in advance. Maybe we didn't provide enough read aloud or field trip or virtual field trip. We didn't do enough to introduce it. Maybe the materials aren't engaging, things like that. So I hope that answers your question. How do I store these is another question I get asked often. I have each dramatic play theme in a file box, one of these cardboard file boxes, and everything that I need for that theme is in the box, and then I store them in my garage. Display cell phones. Ooh, that's a good one. Yes, this one is just one of those little ones. It's actually one of those toys that parents find really annoying because it talks, but you can take the batteries out. But it's a cell phone. Because I have had kids before. I had a phone in my dramatic play center that had a cord, and I've had kids take it out and go, what's this? It has a tail. They don't know what to do with it. So this looks like the phone that they're used to these days. So that's why I have that there. So those are some ideas for a dramatic play hair salon in your dramatic play center. And like I said, if you're worried about lice, definitely don't include any scissors. First of all, any real scissors. We're not going to be giving haircuts. And don't include any real combs or brushes. Explain to the kids that we're going to be performing these hairstyling activities on her head turns, look at that, on our dolls. And this is just a hairstyling doll that I found at a garage sale, but I also have another one that I got on Amazon, and Tom will share a link to her. Unfortunately, none of these hairstyling mannequins are boys, but I wanted ones that had different skin tones and hair colors. But I did find at Dayso, you can hear my heads falling on the floor. I did find these styrofoam heads that you can add hair to. So that is all for tonight. I hope that you got some ideas you can use in your classroom for dramatic play that's meaningful for young children and that can connect to prior knowledge. I'm Vanessa Levin from Pre-K Pages, coming at you live from the Dallas, Texas area. We're live every Monday and Wednesday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern here on the Pre-K Pages Facebook page. And I want to thank all of you for joining me tonight here for the live show. And I will see you again on, today's Wednesday, right? I'll see you all again on Monday. Don't forget to sign up for text messages if you would like to know what the topic will be and when I will be going live. Tom will drop directions in the comments below to tell you how you can do that so you never miss an episode. There's also ways you can subscribe to this live feed so that you can be notified directly through Facebook when I go live, but it seems to be different on every single device, and I don't know how to explain it to all the different device users. So the text message is just the easiest way, but if you want to play around with your phone, you can figure that out. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, and check out the Hair Salon Dramatic Play Kit over at Pre-K Pages or in the Teaching Tribe. And if you're not in the tribe, you can put your name on the waiting list right there in the link that Tom will post below. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend and Happy New Year.